What is going on, players? My name is John Solo, and today I'm not talking conspiracy theories or plot twists or secrets of cinema or anything along those lines. Instead, today I'm going to be doing an AMA, Ask Me Anything. I'm actually in the middle of writing a Star Wars theory right now and researching for another Disney video, but to be totally honest with you guys, I'm feeling just a little bit fried with the constant writing and the researching and the creative process is kind of exhausting. So I figured instead I would do something that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more relaxed, and maybe, isn't gonna garner as many views, but hopefully it'll bring us closer together. Don't you Star Wars fans worry though, because all of the questions I'm answering today pertain to Star Wars. They're actually the questions that were left on my last AMA, which was several months ago. It seems like every time I do one of these AMAs, I say that I want to do them more often, and then I end up not doing another one for a couple of months. But, who knows? Maybe today could be the start of a hot streak, finally. I don't know though. Life is a mystery. The future is a mystery, and today I'm feeling a little like, I don't know, my ADHD is acting up, so let's just dive in and see how far into these we can get. The first question comes from Mr. Battlefront, and he says, who is your favorite Star Wars character? As you can probably guess, being that my name is John Solo, my favorite character is pretty obvious, Boss Nass. Nah, my favorite character of all time is obviously Han Solo. I don't think there's anything to not love about the guy, outside of the fact that he's a stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder, of course. Let me tell you a story that was pretty upsetting to me as a huge Star Wars fan and someone whose favorite character is Han Solo. I think this happened the day before The Force Awakens came out. I had just started making the channel deviate a little more towards Star Wars and Disney and stuff like that. This was before I changed my name to John Solo, though. Back then, the channel was blowing up and I was getting like 300 or 400 subscribers a day and hundreds of comments a day. So I was just going through my comments and I was like, you know what? Been a long time since I checked the spam folder. How about I just check the spam folder and filter that shit out? The first comment that I see right on top, this is before The Force Awakens comes out, is Han Solo dies in The Force Awakens and is killed by his son, Ben Solo, who is Kylo Ren. Like, are you f***ing kidding me? I can't even tell you guys how much I wanted that person to be a lying sack of shit instead of just a regular sack of shit. Unfortunately not, though, so I ended up seeing episode 7 and the entire time I was anticipating that big reveal / climax. It was a pretty huge bummer. Definitely not going to be checking my spam comments this December, I can tell you that. A fella named Liam Rocchiopi asks, what is your favorite Star Wars book? I want to say that my favorite Star Wars book that I've read thus far is probably Star Wars Bloodline by Claudia Gray, the one that follows Princess Leia before episode 7 takes place. She's a little bit older, but not old by any means. I highly recommend that everybody who can read it. If you are someone who doesn't like to read, then I would say check out the audiobook, because that's what I did. I would listen to it on really long drives back and forth from home because I was just moving into my apartment. That doesn't matter. It's not relevant. I listened to the audiobook and the lady who read it put on an amazing performance. After that, I would say that my favorite book, or my second favorite book, would be The Inferno Squad, and then possibly Tarkin. That one was good too. My least favorite book that I've tried to read so far is Aftermath. I've started it over on 3 separate occasions and I'm almost at the end now. Man, I gotta tell you, it's just not very good. I feel like some people are gonna disagree with that, and that's totally fine. I need to read the other books in the trilogy so I can judge the trilogy as a whole, but yeah, Aftermath was not good for me. Still isn't. I've got a couple of chapters left, and I don't even want to finish it. Fairycat LJT asks, John, what are your thoughts on Kylo making it into the top 1,000 names for boys born in the US in 2016? I mean, I don't really have an opinion on that, I guess. I don't know. I think Kylo is a pretty dope name, so if those kids end up being cool, then they're cool kids with cool names. So that's a plus. Babes are gonna love him, I bet. I mean, it's a made-up name. It's from a galaxy far, far away. So if you're somebody who doesn't care about your culture or your heritage or whatever, your family traditions, then name your kid whatever you want, I guess. People have definitely named their kids worse. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see worst child names. 21 baby names voted the worst of 2016. Elizabeth. All right, that's worse. That's far worse. Meldor that's not appealing. I wouldn't want to be named Meldor. You'd have to go by Mel. Olivia, spelled Aliviyaah. Maverick? Ugh, why would you name your kid that? Why would you name your kid? I mean, Maverick is fine, but why would you name your kid Maverick and spell it like that? As someone whose name is John, and I've had surprising difficulty with people not knowing how to spell it, they always throw an H in there, which is understandable, I guess, but I get pretty annoyed. I also get annoyed when people call me Jonathan. I've never met a Jonathan that I liked. I think I bashed on the name Jonathan in the last AMA. I'm sorry, I hate that name. But as someone whose name is super easy to spell and is commonly misspelled, I don't know why parents do this to their children. I'm naming my kid something dope, and it's gonna be easy to spell and pronounce, because his last name is going to be Scuderi, and that's already going to be difficult to deal with. Anyways, moving on, Fido Kicker asks, well, let's take a step back. Fido Kicker? Fido is in like the dog Fido. If your name's Fido Kicker, I'm getting the vibe that you like to kick dogs. I don't just want to attribute that to you and assume that that's what you like to do, but with a name like that, I can't help but think that that's what your favorite thing in the world is kicking dogs. Maybe I'm wrong though. Anyways, what would you like to see as an anthology film for Star Wars? There's an infinite amount of potential for anthology films for Star Wars. Personally, I would like to see one based off of Obi-Wan. Obviously, that would be the best one. I would also be down for a Boba Fett movie if he didn't take his helmet off the entire time, like Judge Dredd style. I would also like to see a Mace Windu movie. Like, Samuel L. Jackson's pretty old now, so it would definitely, obviously, have to be a post-Episode 3 Mace Windu. But I think it would be pretty cool to see him if he somehow survived the fall from 5,000 Stories Up or whatever it is. I would also be down for a Saw Gerrera movie because I think it was really cool learning about the partisans and the more brutal military tactics that they employ. Like, you learn about that in the Guardians of the Whills book and Rebel Rising and the Battlefront 2 book, etc. But the fact that he's in the Clone Wars and Rebels and Rogue One makes me think that it's probably not ever gonna happen, which is fine. I just think it would be cool. Leo Monroy asks, can you tell us a rating of your favorite Star Wars movies? The way that I'm interpreting this question is you're asking me to give you my rating from my favorite to my least favorite, which is way easier than a scale of 1 to 10 on all of them, so I'm just gonna do that. My number one favorite, and it's very neck and neck here, is Episode 4, A New Hope. And I know a lot of people say that Episode 5 is the best. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I can see why people would say that, but for me personally, I like Episode 4 the best because it's the only movie in the saga that's an open and shut story, being that that's how they initially made it after all. Every other movie ends on a cliffhanger or leaves you with questions, so Episode 4 is for sure my number one favorite. Then I'm gonna say Episode 5, then Episode 6, then let's see. Then I don't know what to do with Episode 7 and Rogue One. I really don't know which one I like more. I don't know. It's not like there's any official rules to this. I'm going to say that Episode 7 and Rogue One are tied for me in spot number 4. Then it's going to be Episode 3 and then 1 and then 2. I really do think that Attack of the Clones is just so much worse than The Phantom Menace. Like, The Phantom Menace is bad pretty much throughout the entire thing, but Attack of the Clones is trash for the beginning, and then it gets okay. That's my official ranking as of right now. Now I think I'm going to dedicate some time and rewatch them all so I can update this accordingly. And with that question, I think I'm going to end this AMA. So let me just say thank you all so much for watching, and if you want to ask me a question yourself, leave it in the comment section down below. I don't really have a theme or guidelines for the next video, so just ask me whatever you want and I'll pick the ones that stand out to me as the most interesting. If you enjoyed this video, also remember to hit that like button because it supports the channel a whole lot and it lets me know you care. And until next time, in case you forgot, my name is John Solo. May the Force be with you, and remember, John shot first.
Damn.